Realme is back with their next series of phones. This is the Realme 5 Pro, and in today's video, let's unbox it and take an extensive close look at Realme's new Redmi competitor. Hey guys, Ash here from C4eTech, and if you do end up liking what you see here, please don't forget to turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. So let's go ahead, get this unboxed. So here's the box the Realme 5 Pro comes in. Dare to leap. That's the tagline this time. The box looks quite familiar to what we've been seeing from Realme. We have the 5 Pro text to the side. Now this is the sparkling blue variant with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of onboard storage. Realme also sells a crystal green color option and 464 and 664 RAM storage variants, just like they did for the Realme 3 Pro. Note that the top variant this time gets 2 extra gigs of RAM. Now back to the box, the sticker to the bottom, it lists some of the specs, the box contents and more. Let's now see those box contents for ourselves. And hey, when we take that knife to the seal, you can see that it's already cut. That's because the first time we unboxed this phone, the camera turned off midway and that footage got corrupted. So this is take 2. Opening up the lid, we have a box with the regular informational leaflets, including the quick start guide. Then there is a smoky silicone case. That's a big camera cutout. Well, let's get to it. We then have the Realme 5 Pro itself. Removing that sticker to the back, it's changed a bit, but it still happens to be plastic. It's got that diamond cut design going for it, but it feels a little different in hand. Solid and more premium, I'd say. Realme seems to have done well. But I'm gonna leave it in this case for the time being. And we next have a 20 watt VOOC 3.0 charger. And this, just like we saw with the Realme X, it comes with a Type-C cable. And the last item in the box, underneath that Type-C cable, we have a SIM ejector tool. So now coming back to the Realme 5 Pro, this is one of the best polycarbonate builds that I've come across in a while. From a design perspective, it feels a little bit like a step back from the Realme X. But then again, the Realme 5 Pro is expected to come in cheaper, so that's understandable. We have a physical fingerprint scanner to the back. It was quick to respond. The highlight here, to the back for the entire phone, it's gotta be that quad camera setup, but we'll get to that in a bit. The Realme 5 Pro is 8.9 millimeters thick. The edge curves to the back, and that kinda helps make it feel slimmer than it actually is. The 184 gram weight seems to be spread out well. So it is actually spread out well to the point where the phone feels more solid in hand than bulky. The back, being glossy plastic, picked up a bunch of fingerprints almost instantly. So I'm gonna be leaving this in its case for the majority of the testing. I mean, really, we had to wipe this phone so many times while shooting this video. That said, the design does look nice, doesn't it? Now, to the front, we have a dewdrop notch. Realme calls this a mini drop and claims it is 30% smaller than the usual dewdrop notch. This here, it's a 6.3-inch display. It's IPS LCD. I'd have loved to see AMOLED here, but as far as LCD goes, this seems to be a good quality panel. The resolution is Full HD+, so text appears crisp, the colors are rich and vibrant, the white balance seems okay. The output looks natural and I have no complaints with viewing angles or brightness levels. This display, by the way, it is covered by Corning's Gorilla Glass 3 for protection. The bezels are also reasonably sized for the segment. Watching videos on this phone should be a good experience. It's also worth mentioning that we have Widevine L1 certification, so HD streaming should work, and the audio output via the single downwards firing speaker, it was quite loud. See for yourself. Talking about audio, Realme has retained the headphone jack. It's present to the bottom along with the Type-C port, primary mic and speaker. The power button is to the right, the volume rockers and the triple cut slot, they are present to the left. Yep, we have dedicated micro SD support. That's sweet. The top, we just have the secondary noise cancelling microphone here. Okay, we've been talking a lot about the externals, so let's actually jump to the innards of the Realme 5 Pro. Now, given the Realme 3 Pro and the Realme X both sported the Snapdragon 710 chip, Realme's upped the chip inside. We've got the Snapdragon 712 AIE here. This chip brings with it a 10% boost in performance with regards to the CPU due to the increased clock speeds, and a 30% boost in performance with the Adreno 616 GPU inside. We tried running a few games here on the Realme 5 Pro and they fared well. Smooth frame rates, good graphical fidelity. We've seen this before on the Vivo Z1 Pro in the past, and the Snapdragon 712's Adreno 616 does perform quite nicely. Additionally, Realme provides HyperBoost 2.0 here. This is supposed to help with the frame rate and touch response while gaming. The GameSpace app returns to relieve us of interruptions while gaming. It also provides a lot of different options here, most of which are self-explanatory. The Realme 5 Pro is on ColorOS 6.0 built atop Android 9 Pie. The user experience here, it felt good. Jumping between apps, scrolling through feeds, it was pretty smooth sailing. App launch times were quick, that's thanks in part to the UFS 2.1 storage. Despite the dedicated microSD support, the Realme 5 Pro's base variant, it's 64 gigs. This one you're seeing in this video, this is the 8128 variant by the way. And there are quite a few preloaded apps here. Most of them can be uninstalled. One thing I don't like about ColorOS here is the inability to disable apps. Sometimes, guys, brands don't allow us to uninstall certain preloaded apps, and while that in itself is unfair, we've come to accept it as the way it is. But ColorOS not allowing us to even disable something explicitly promotional like the hot apps or hot games option, it is a little disappointing. That said, the interface is largely ad-free. You don't see ads in the theme store or every time you download an app, so that is a pro. ColorOS has also been moving more and more towards stock Android with the app drawer and a cleaner settings option. So the learning curve here, even if you've never used ColorOS in the past, it's quite short. ColorOS also brings with it a few power saving options, but given the 40-30 mAh battery that's coupled with a 10nm Snapdragon 712 AIE, the battery should be able to last all day even with heavy use. And if we do end up running out of juice, VOOC 3.0 should help us top off quite quick. We'll, talk about battery once I've managed to spend more time with the Realme 5 Pro, in the full review. Now for security, apart from that snappy physical fingerprint scanner on the back, Realme also provides face unlock that uses the selfie camera. This seems to be quite quick too. Talking about the selfie camera, this here is the same one from the Realme X, and more importantly, the same one as we've seen on the OnePlus 7 Pro. This is Sony's IMX471 sensor. It's coupled with the f2 lens. This is a 16 megapixel camera. The selfies it takes, they seem good. The portraits too, Realme seems to be doing quite well with edge deduction. The image did feel a little too cold to me, but then again, I was shooting this at about 6 in the evening, so it might just be how the conditions were. So I'll talk more about this as well after more testing. The camera app here, it's pretty similar to what we've seen on other Realme phones. The different camera selections handled a little weirdly. Tap this for wide angle. For the macro, it's a totally different mode by itself, but the app does what it needs to do. There's a full-fledged Pro mode too if you want it, along with chroma boost and nightscape options. As for the cameras themselves, to the back, there are 4 of them. This is one of the Realme 5 Pro's USPs or unique selling points. Now the primary, it's the Sony IMX586, that 48 megapixel sensor everyone seems to love. It's coupled with a f1.7 lens, and as you can see, it does relatively well. Just what we'd expect of it. Chroma Boost punches everything up, and it's also made available for the wide angle camera. I'm sure you can notice the difference with these side-by-side images. The third one, it's a depth sensor. I'm sure everyone knows what a depth sensor does. The edge deduction seems fine, the portraits turned out well enough. The final one, this is new. It's an ultra macro option. It lets you get close enough to the subject for shots like this. Now it is only a 2 megapixel sensor, so don't expect a lot out of it in terms of detail. But here's a side-by-side with the regular camera's closest focus distance. Any closer with the regular camera and it cannot focus, it loses focus. So the ultra macro helps us get unique shots like these. And now, with all that said and done, we finally get to pricing. But as of shooting this video, I'm not aware of the official price. I do expect this to be priced around the Redmi Note 7 Pro, so 14,000 rupees is what I would guess. But the moment I get to know the official price, I will leave it in a pinned comment. So do check that space. I will also let you guys know via Twitter. So if you don't follow me on Twitter at C4eTech, go ahead, do that. Now, overall, if it's priced around 14,000 rupees, this quad camera setup, that Snapdragon 712 AIE, the 4000 mAh battery, that build, that dedicated micro SD, they should make for an interesting package. So, like I said earlier, I'm going to continue testing out this phone and I'll have more to say about it in the full review that should drop quite soon. In the meantime, what do you guys think? What do you think about the Realme 5 Pro? Are you impressed? Would you have liked to see Realme do something different? And also, would you like to see a comparison video or maybe a speed test or something camera focused? If yes, which phone should I compare it with? Let me know all these in the comments below. And with that, we get to the end of this unboxing and dedicated hands-on. So again, tell me how you guys feel about these longer unboxing videos. You like it, you hate it, you're indifferent to it, whatever. Please let me know. Your feedback is always super important. All the more so when I'm experimenting with something new. So please do let me know. And I guess that's pretty much it. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about this video. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4eTech. And I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.